Welcome to Elevated Wisdom, where we transcend and go beyond the subconscious. Welcome to Elevated Wisdom, where we transcend and go beyond the subconscious. Welcome to Elevated Wisdom, where we transcend and go beyond the subconscious. Welcome to Elevated Wisdom, where we transcend.
All right, all right. Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome in. We are live. I am Intoxicated DJ, and this is my brother Ahmad Germain. We are here with another wonderful elevated wisdom
What is going
conversation.
on?
How you doing today, bro?
Good yourself?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking. I am very excited for today's conversation. This is something for me very therapeutic to have this hour and be able to speak our minds in our own perspectives without feeling judged or um, pushed in any sort of direction. Simply being heard and acknowledged is truly a gift that we can all give each other. So I'm truly thankful to be here and be able to hold this space for us to give these gifts to one another and have another amazing conversation. So I'm just gonna bring it. We're gonna dive right into it, and I'm gonna bring it over to you because you really had a good topic about self awareness today, and yeah, I really want to let you or allow you to steer this conversation because the energy that you were bringing for the topic was really important. And I had a different perspective that I'll be able to bring in afterwards. So please, let's get it started, and let's get into the conversation.
Okay. Um, so today I was speaking with someone and I asked the question, hey,
Mm-hmm.
do you mind if you do this? And it was a simple yes or no question. I personally didn't care whether it was a yes or a no. I just simply asked. But with it came, ah, why didn't you ask earlier? How come you didn't do this and that? And then I started getting annoyed because I'm like, oh, it's just a yes or no. Why do I need all this unnecessary stuff?
Mm-hmm.
But as I sat there and I thought about it, and I thought, like, damn, I've been in those places as well. where I'm now in a position to say yes or no. I don't want to do it, but I don't want to offend or disappoint the person.
Mm.
So I give this elaborate excuse or all this frustration to kind of change emotionally how it's going. And now I'm going to take all my shit that I have because I don't want to deal with it and just accept saying no and be okay. I'm going to throw it on the other person now. And they're going to now get in some type of way. If they're already kind of agitated and I see it, I can hot potato all my negative stuff and put it on them to where now they're feeling some type of way just for asking. Where in reality, the person that didn't want to answer was the original person feeling some type of way because they
Mm.
just didn't want to be honest and say, I don't want to do it. And it's something that a lot of times, whether it's family members, friends, spouses, girlfriends, we have a problem saying no, as if
Mm.
when we say it, they're going to look at us differently or leave us, or we're going to be ashamed just because. And in the same essence, we get offended when we realize there's no boundaries, right?
Mm.
Well, the first part of a boundary is actually saying how you feel, regardless of whatever any or anybody else thinks or feels about it, because it's you just saying, look, I don't want to. And you have every right, and it's okay for you to do that.
Mm.
So for me, at that time that that happened, that's why I kind of was like, wow, I've been in that position, the other person, and I've done exactly what that person has just done.
Mm.
Now, may it be for different reasons, of course, because I'm not a mind reader, I'm not in their mind. So there's a part of me that this is assuming, right? It's my assumption that that possibly could be it. Because even if I ask the person, they still have to be honest with themselves and me for some type of truth to come out.
Mm.
So I might be head spot on and they can still say, no, that's not what. So at the end of the day, for me, it's not really being right is irrelevant. It was
Mm.
just identifying that in that situation, I was playing both people. And in reality, whenever you're running through that, that other person is projecting an insecurity or a part of you that needs work on. And I kind of got that in that conversation.
Mm.
So I thought it was kind of cool that I actually caught it. And then I could also be like, oh, I've done what that person just did. So I'm not going to react to it because
Mm.
I understand where it's coming from. It's just a place of frustration because they're just not comfortable with saying no for whatever my bitching or I'm gonna look at them something or I'm gonna say that whatever the reason may be. And that's the other aspect that you could look at it too. Like, why does that person have the need to feel that they have to justify their yes or it's not good enough?
Mm.
So there's many little aspects of it, but that was the main one for me that that got my attention. So based off of that situation, how do you see it? What would you do
Mm.
in that particular situation?
Well, I mean, I, I want to point out that I also can relate in the idea of feeling that people were being that way, and I myself doing those things, right? Me feeling uncomfortable and to the point where rather than simply like saying no, I'm good or no, I'm okay, um, I again create an elaborate story or that it creates an emotional like, oh, rather than saying no I can't, be like, oh well, see, I don't have any money for gas and da 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 da, like the, oh, I create this thing that takes away the attention from the fact that I'm saying no, and create
Yes.
create a reason, or something that will back up why I can't, or why the reason that I'm not going is not because of me, it's because of X, right? Is I'm saying no not because I don't want to say no. I'm saying no because of this, that, and the third. When in reality, it is because I don't want to. So I can relate to that.
Correct.
I also appreciate how you said that you could be mind reading, and that it was something that struck out to me at first, right? Where immediately, like, well, that is mind reading. I can never tell what somebody else is thinking, the reason why they're doing it, and anything that is driving that person. I can assume, but I usually, for my perspective and my experience, 9 times out of 10, when I assume, it's incorrect, because like you also beautifully pointed out, that most people will lie to themselves so well that they don't even see what's happening. And that is also a valid point. And so I have been in similar situations, and I can say that I am now at a place where people's reactions has no value or stake on my mental health, and my emotional responses. How somebody chooses to say something, how somebody decides to react to something I do or say, has nothing to do with me, right? And so even if I'm thinking, yeah, man, this person, it sounds like they're doing this, and sounds like they're just making up some bull to say no to me, rather than giving it that energy for me now, be like, okay, they don't want to. End of story. That's the end of the thought. That's the end of the any sort of energy towards that thing. Because the only reason I am bothered at that time, or beyond that, is because I'm actively giving it my energy, my thoughts, my wonder why they do this, why are they not comfortable, why, like trying to figure it out is a for me a waste of my energy, where I can simply accept what they say however they are saying it, and I move on with my life, right? Because either way, they're not going to be there. So why am I dragging on something that they're already making up a even if let's say they're not making it up, right? Even if they're not, right? Or even they're not doing that thing. The point of the matter is they're not going to do it either way. So what is my where is the value in me staying in that situation or emotion? Now, the final thing I'm going to say is, the beautiful thing about staying in that situation is this: what we are currently having, a conversation where I'm not saying what you did is wrong or what you see and is wrong. Nothing like that. I'm saying that is your experience, and that is a unique experience to you, and we share similarities in it along the way. And although we see a little different in the situations, I can still respect what you're going through. I can still empathize with what you're saying, because I myself have also, like I said, been in through that and have done those things. So overall, being aware of reactions also plays a big part of maintaining awareness of my actions, because I share similarities. So when I see that in others, like you were saying too, is that I'm noticing something that I'm bothered about myself, right? And that is a very interesting point, because the times that we do see those things in others is either when we're doing it ourselves or is something that we're actively trying to not do anymore. So it's in the forefront of our heads, right? And so that's kind of like that is my overall long-winded answer. But I wanted to ask you, in your experience through this, what is something that you've learned? What has been the that wisdom that you've gotten out of this experience for you?
This one today or since I've gained more self-awareness.
Let's go with this one today and then into overall.
Well, it just it showed me two things. One, to have empathy
I
and
see your desk.
compassion
Much
when
love.
someone's not at a place to be comfortable to say no. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because it does take courage to say no. It takes a lot to be at that stage where the no you're actually okay with and you can sit with it.
Mm-hmm.
No matter who you tell it to, mom, wife, daughter,
Mm.
you're good with it. Like it takes a lot. That's a lot of courage. So one was the empathy and compassion of understanding that they're not at that place, and it's
Mm.
okay. Not penalizing someone to expecting someone to be at a level that I'm at, whether it's maturity, whether it's understanding of particular things,
Mm.
giving some people the benefit of the doubt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not holding them accountable to the same level or standard that I'm holding myself.
Mm.
Um, and the last one is that no matter what challenge I get in with someone else, it continues to point out areas that I need to improve on myself.
Mm.
So those would be the three big takeaways for me today. Um, and honestly, before that, I knew, but I wasn't aware.
Mm.
And I know that's contradicting, like it sounds. So I knew I was doing things, but I hadn't officially caught myself to where I could say, this is what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I was, subconsciously, automatically doing certain things, but I couldn't tell you specifically what it was. Where today I was like, oh, I've done this several
Mm.
times. So it's getting done back to me. Now I get to feel how it is when I'm usually dishing it out. And oh, by the way, that was what I was doing. I wasn't good with saying no. Oh, and by the way, since I wasn't good with saying no, and it just keeps going as you go through, it
Mm-hmm.
all ties together. You know,
Indeed.
it's a beautiful painting when you start doing a lot of this stuff. It's kind of like Humpty Dumpty, right? This time though, you get to put yourself all together, and you find different pieces at different times and put it in, and you're like, oh, I feel better. And that's part of the process, I think, is when you really, you know, go on this journey. It's almost
Mm.
as if you fall apart just to then put yourself together,
Mm-hmm.
but not as society made you, but how you see yourself.
Mm.
And that's a beautiful thing to think about.
Most definitely. I can see and understand what you just shared. Um, oh, it just flew by. I should have wrote it down. I wanted to speak on a point that you made, but it just kind of flew by. So I'll get back into that. Um, as far as understanding now, being knowing versus being aware is something that I have taken for granted for many years. I know what the right thing to do is. I know how to do a lot of things. Being aware was a different animal that I've come to understand in my later years. I would say in the last decade, really. Truly being aware of what's happening, being aware of who's around me, being aware of the energy that I am projecting, being aware of how I react to other energies, being aware of myself on how I do, how I speak, and how I think. Being aware has opened the door for me to accomplish. I'm going to say that again real quick. Being aware has opened the door for me to accomplish understanding that I need to lose weight. So I'm going to eat healthier. I'm going to go for, nature walks. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to surround myself with people that will encourage this behavior, that will encourage this lifestyle. I'm going to surround myself with energy that will continuously encourage and celebrate the new lifestyle that I am creating for myself. Being aware that all that is possible has truly transcended my life. I knew all along that these things are possible, but I wasn't aware. And it has really put it into perspective for me because what I am aware of is different or what you're aware of, but it's all relevant because we share a reality. We share so many things in common that what the things that we are aware of, we share with one another, good and bad. And that, man, it really spoke to me. So I really appreciate you mentioning that. Knowing and being aware is different. The
Now, I did want to ask you something
Mhm.
though.
Go for it.
Since you since you gained greater self-awareness, right?
Mm.
What have you learned about yourself? What name three things that have probably been the most impactful for you to continue your self-discovery journey?
Mm. Um,
From awareness though.
from
So what
awareness.
three things
Hmm.
from self-awareness that impacted you to where it motivated and allowed you to continue on your self-discovery journey?
Mm. First and foremost, how I treat myself, what I think about myself, how what I say about myself, and the things I do for myself are going to be a direct correlation, or it's going to have a very close influence on how the world is going to, what kind of energy the world is going to return to me. That was one. Two, that I am capable, period. I am capable. But um, aware, being aware of my infinite creative power was also, I would say, my top third a key awareness feature that has allowed me to transform how I perceive this shared universe. What about you?
First thing for me, the biggest thing was aware that my attitude affected my perception and perspective on life.
Mm,
That was the first thing, my attitude. Second would have been obviously self-worth, recognizing I am enough, I am capable.
Connie
And the
Cryptic, welcome
third
in.
one
Appreciate you,
would
fam.
be detaching from the limiting belief.
Mm,
Now understanding that anything and everything is possible if I have the courage to take the step to do it.
mm,
So those will be the three biggest things for me. And then obviously how I interact with people now, like today, catching that, um, talking to someone and now catching myself and not providing my 15 cents or my little 2 cents to, or
mhm,
someone says great news and then you're like, oh, that's great, man, but I would have done this, or oh yeah,
mhm,
that's awesome, but you think that's the right thing instead of just allowing it to be a celebration for the person. If they're not asking me for anything, my information, they're asking for support, and that support doesn't require me to respond in the way that I have. So just
mm,
things like that, being aware now, like if no one's asking me for my opinion, then I don't need to provide it.
mm.
Period.
Yeah.
I'm not obligated. They're not even asking me, so why am I why am I doing it?
Mm,
Respect that person, celebrate whatever they're celebrating,
mhm.
regardless if you agree or don't agree. Cool, man. Yeah, that's great. You like it? I love it. Keep it moving.
That's it.
So, so yeah, man. It's just those have been the nice things for myself. It was obviously the ones I stated, but
Mm.
exciting times. Exciting
No,
times.
and it is an important topic in these times, right? In a sense of there's a lot of things happening around the world right now and all the time. When you really stop to look at it, things don't stop. There isn't a total utopian time of complete peace and everything going great and everybody getting along. That's just not the reality of things, and it hasn't been. And so, at least being self-aware, it is crucial. It is crucial of these times and into an idea for change, right? If we really truly desire change, uh, currently, we've truly desire peace, if we truly desire these things that we are so heartily talking about and standing up for, then where all that begins is ourselves. If we take care of ourselves the way we are marching for, the way we are rooting for, all these things for all one another, truly their healthiest ways, most of these things don't have room, cannot continue to succeed. Nothing grows without energy. Nothing continues to grow with our energy. And so, I really truly appreciate self awareness to the point of our famous quote, right? I will take care of me for you, and you take care of you for me. And
Yeah.
that is the one thing, the self awareness that really uh, the value of it, I guess I want to call it. And oh, I just remember something also I wanted to get your thoughts on, right? Because of the idea that we have the knowledge inside of us. Like we all possess knowledge. We just have to
Right.
tap into it. And so, with that is this amazing continued proof. Like, we all want proof as human beings. We all want, and so there now, we have realized that we can input data into DNA and hold it like a CD disk, like a USB drive.
No, yeah, USB thumb drive.
Yeah, just like that, right? And so imagine that each and
Yeah.
every one of us is a thumb drive of all human experiences before us. That and all we need is to tap into the folders to show us how to do XYZ thing. How to create, how to paint, how to be an engineer, how to fly, how to all these things, we're just tapping into them. It's in our DNA. It's inside us all. And that's why it is important for us all to focus on what is that we're trying to do, right? It that energy goes into that. We truly tap into the DNA, we truly tap into the source that gives us the creative channel to create. And I know you can share that experience going back to creating your latest books and how you didn't feel like you were hungry. You didn't feel like you were sleepy. You just had the creative energy and you had to let that out. And you did. And it is something amazing, beautiful that people are, right now utilizing in their life for change. That is a beautiful thing. I would love to hear your thoughts on that whole experience.
Um, as far as the thumb drive, as far as the changing, being creative,
Both.
and there was a lot you packed in there.
Indeed, indeed. I apologize. Like once I get started, is but yeah, let's
Well,
talk. Let's get started with the DNA.
um, yeah, everything is already in us. Um, if if they go back, I think our DNA is millions of years old. Truthfully, any history that we've been taught or told, I can't even
Hmm.
I don't even believe it most of it now, honestly. So all of it is very, very interesting. But if you've ever heard of like stories about Atlantis and what they were capable of doing, it's no different really than right now.
Hmm.
Um, and in my opinion, I think we went the opposite way. We're thinking we are more advanced than them, where I think they were more advanced. We're just going. So time is going like two ways, right?
Hmm.
And I think we're going backwards, and they were already where they're at. Spot,
Hmm.
in my opinion. I
Hmm.
don't know if it makes any sense, but so I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised at what the human body can do. There's a reason we know nothing about the human body. Realistically,
Hmm.
we have no clue. The ocean, we don't know nothing about the ocean, and the ocean and us, there's something there, right? We are 80%, 70 some or 82% water ourselves in our body. Some of us have came out with web feet and hands and gills behind the ears. So it's very interesting topic for that one.
Hmm.
As far as the experience in the creation part, I think all of us at some point have been hit where we got a message, we had the need to do something,
Hmm.
and we had the energy to pursue it and do it no matter how long it took, no matter what the effort or energy was required, and we just were able to do it. Um, and for the book that's getting processed now or getting ready to be published, that one was almost to me was almost like a download. I just woke up from sleeping, and then it came in my head a book title, just the
Hmm.
title. I was like, oh, that would be great. I lay back down,
Hey Ash, welcome in, my friend.
and it just kept playing in my head like, "Oh, you got to get up, get up. You got to do something. Get up, get up."
Hmm.
So then, after about 10 minutes of me trying to go to sleep, and I just couldn't because all I kept hearing was the book title and topics that needed to be put in there. So I got up, I started
I see
doing
you,
it,
Brica. Welcome
and I
in.
started knocking it out. And, for the first couple weeks, I might have been doing 4 hours, and then after that, it went back. Then it was 2 hours. Then it was 1 hour cleaning it up. But it was a continuous effort and work until I got finished. So
Mm.
when it does hit you, and they would call it a Coptic records, whenever you do get a download, you do get to see something hits that maybe is from your prior soul that now you're in alignment. You reach kind of like video games, how we talked about. You got a new level now, intuition, and that intuition allows you to tap into prior experiences and things that you did, and different phases of your soul life.
Mm.
Um, that would be very interesting. That would be unique to see.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you're aware of this, but there was a company that put their, I think they're from Russia, and they were able to put a microchip in. It's kind of like Starlink or Neuralink, but it
Mm-hmm.
was a chip, but it was their consciousness.
Mm.
And when they act, and they could track it. So when
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
person
Oh,
actually
shit.
passed away, they
Mm.
were trying to track the consciousness of the person, and it went far beyond, a galaxy aware of. So that I thought that was interesting. But I just
Hey,
think
thanks for the likes,
life
Ash.
is stranger than fiction, and there's so much that is very possible and capable.
Mm.
Everything that is fantasy, I believe, has already happened or exists. We just been in a big slumber. We've been chopped off from what we're truly capable of doing.
Mm.
And I think that's part of the process, in my opinion. We came from creators to now creation, now having to figure how to be creators.
Mm.
Because once you get here, you forget about everything. You forget this game, and now you're stuck in all these human emotions, this gravity, and you're limited because these emotions we don't have to deal with. You only deal with them here.
Mm.
And so I think that's part of the game is understanding, remembering who you are, what you're capable of, and these emotions, if harnessed and understood properly, will allow you to transcend to the higher levels where you need to be for your own soul's evolution.
Mm. N-
So that's my aspect of it.
I know, I appreciate that, man. It really is unique in its own right, but it doesn't make it false, right? It doesn't make it true. It makes it you. And what we are is an experience. It doesn't define who we are, the totality of us. And I really truly appreciate that, I we have Ash here on the TikTok loving the conversation. I appreciate you, Ash. Thanks for stopping by. Right now we're dissecting self-awareness, and we're speaking through our experiences of what that means, what that has provided for us. And being self-aware for me has also allowed me to push past my fears. Everything I've thought impossible became
Mm,
possible after proving myself that I could, right? And I only was able to do that by doing the things that I feared. And that was very difficult, right? Like, is like I can only dry myself if I get wet first. I can only clean my soul after I do something dirty, right? And in the sense of, again, everything is through experience, and being aware can allow does allow me to experience this shared life, this shared world, in a more calm way, in a more accepted way. Um, Hey, much appreciated. Thank you for the follow, Marie. Pod podcast. How you doing? Welcome in. Just followed. I appreciate you. Thank you. We're dissecting the self awareness, and I wanted to stop and say I apologize for quitting mid sentence. I wanted to acknowledge that follow. It is important as for me to be self aware now on acknowledging people coming in here, but at the same time, giving myself the respect to finish my sentence, to finish my thought, to give myself the time, right? First,
Hmm.
to then give you guys the time. I can only give you the best version of me to you guys if I take care of me first. So this was a great lesson. I think I appreciate you guys being here and listening to us and our perspectives. We highly encourage all of you guys to share yours and being here. Participating in the conversation and chat is always welcomed. So if you have any thoughts about self awareness, what that means to you, what self awareness has brought into your life, or maybe what are you struggling with about self awareness? What are your things that you may be struggling that you're thinking about, or ideas you're bouncing back and forth in your head or with others? Please feel free to share those things. If you don't feel comfortable sharing that in chat, you're more than welcome to send us an email, and on the next episode we can share our perspectives and thoughts on that as well. So either way, you are welcome here and appreciated. Thank you for your time. Going back to self-awareness, my brother, you know, being here today speaking about this reminds me how imperfect perfectly I am, and how accepting myself continues to create a vibrant human experience. What has that done for you? Thoughts are important. Our perception is our only reality.
I would say
Experiencing is not the same. Oh, okay. Listen to this before you
answer
answer
that.
that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Ash says, yes, your thoughts are important. Our perception is our only reality. I have to remind myself that I'm experiencing is not the same as what others is experiencing. I well said, Ash. That is, I totally agree, and that's something that Ahmad and I continue to talk about and mention. Right, what is going on with me, what I'm perceiving, what I'm thinking, may not be what everybody else is experiencing, what everybody else is thinking, what everybody else is feeling. And so, if I just worry about me and taking care of those things and they do the same, then our shared experience is that going to be that much more healthier, that much more vibrant and supportive, and all of that wonderful things.
You gotta tell them, stay in your lane.
Mm,
Stay in your lane. And it's not being rude, it's just if you're in your business and minding you, it's just gonna be that much better for everyone.
mm,
You can go to any job, right? And
mm,
at this the moment people start doing other people's jobs, there's where all the problem is.
mm. Stepping on people's
I got a
toes.
I got Yep, I got a finance guy trying to tell the supply guy how he should supply. I got a mechanic trying to tell the finance guy how he's supposed to be. It
Mm.
don't work, man. Like, just focus on what you got to do. We all have a part to play, and that's how it is for all of us, even individually. And it's not being rude; it's just being honest. You came here to focus on you and be aware how you operate. Therefore, when you now are part of the shared experience, it's not only seeing your way, you're
Mm.
now not using perception, it's more about perspective, right?
Indeed. And
And
Ash
if you
also puts in here
that's what that
very, very smoothly. She says, yes, exactly. We're all threads of this shared reality. We are not the whole product.
exactly. We are
Mm.
but a drop of the whole ocean. That
Indeed.
is the truth.
indeed, indeed, and that's also, it 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 brings or highlights the idea of why we are all so uniquely different. We are all given our own lane, our own character, our own thoughts, our own feelings, our own everything. But yet, for most parts, at least in my experience, most of us try to be like somebody else. And it's not until we embrace our lane, embrace ourselves, our gifts, our shortcomings, whatever it is, everything about us, is when we truly shine and people we see the world. Oh my gosh, the world really does accept me. Oh my gosh, the really, just like my great friend, Snippenhammer. She was very anxious for today's IRL stream, and she deals with a lot of anxiety, and yet she pushed past it, and she went out there and she was doing an amazing job. She had great numbers, like 300 people plus were checking her out, and people were having a good time, and she's like, oh my gosh, I can do it. And in that moment, right, it's not until we push past those fears and we prove to ourselves, holy crap, I can do it, I am worthy, I can be happy, I can do all of this. Yes, we can. Yes, you can. And that to me is such a gift to not only witness. Hey, let's go. I appreciate you. Snippet. Love you, baby. I see you. We're talking about you. Let's see. Ash says, if we are busy building ourselves up, we have no time to tear down others. Great way to put it, Ash. It's our job to be ourselves, but it's not our job to make others comfortable with our existence. Ooh, speaking facts, Ash. Yes. This is why we say, be where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. I love when I go into Snip and Hammers and I get that boom, 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 and snip hammer time. Every single person that comes through gets a unique welcome. Every person that comes in feels the love from this soul. And this is why we shine when we are ourselves and we truly embrace others with the energy that we wished we get when we stepped into a room, when we said hello to somebody, when we get celebrated that way. There is no amount of money we could give in this world for that, man.
That's good. But for a lot of us, we didn't celebrate ourselves that way.
Mm.
So it's challenging to do that for someone else as well if you've never done it for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or now if I get it done from someone else, I'm dependent upon them to make me feel worthwhile or worthy of something, but yet I haven't achieved it within myself. And that's where that dependency can come in.
Mm.
So it's it's just something to always be aware that it starts and ends with us. And you said it in the beginning, like we have to be the catalyst for the change. No one
Mm.
else can walk the walk. No one else can talk the talk. It's got to be us.
Mm.
And it's through letting go of those
I see you,
beliefs. And
Snipping.
like
Thank you
you
for the
said,
GGs, baby.
everything that I hate doing or that I'm not a fan of, I need to continue to do
Mm.
it and push myself, you know, and know that regardless of when you let go, it's going to be okay. Whatever direction I go, if I land on my feet, if I land in the water, it's going to work because wherever I land, that's probably where I'm supposed to be.
Mm.
And if that's where I'm supposed to be, now I got to figure out why and then keep going. Or I
Indeed.
don't figure it out and just trust the process and keep going anyway. But either way, you got to know that all is well. And I'm going to keep just being me because that's what you're here to do.
Mm.
Be you, experience, live the experience you wanted to. Just like on Total Recall.
Yeah. I love that movie. I don't even know if Snippin has seen that one, but you should check it out, Snippin. And on that note, it really, um, it really is important to surround ourselves with these type of people for many types of reasons, and here's one, right? Being aware of who you surround yourself with can impact you in your life to do with the things that you may be afraid of or find challenge in. Hey, as did you sip it? Thank you for the gifty. Um, the what you gave me today, Snippin, is more evidence that I am capable, right? Seeing you push past your fears, seeing you do the things that inside may make you uncomfortable, but you know you can push past, doing everything you do with your head held up high, with your heart filled to the rim, with your intentions being pure. This is why I am here every day with Shu Fam, because it reminds me where I'm lacking. And where I lack, I you remind me that I have to put the work on it myself, right? I have to do those things. And so keep doing what you're doing, because you are inspiring, first of all, yourself to become the person that you're meant to be in this life. You are, again, to the moon, baby, to the moon. And with people like Ash, with people like Lizzie, like Ahmad here, like myself, all of us together, we can and will, because we support one another by supporting ourselves first, by loving ourselves first, by working on ourselves first. And that's how we help the fam after that. Dang, you blessing me today. Let's go. Happy Father's Day. Hey, that's right. Happy Father's Day. So much. Thank you, Snippin. I love you for the gift he gives. This is being shared with me and Ahmad. We're both proud fathers, and we are truly thankful to being here. Dang, Ahmad. Snippin Hammer's out here showering us with gifty gifts on the TikToks. We can only support and
Oh,
love
really?
from a place of wholeness. Broken people break others. Very true, Ash. Very true. When we are hurting, usually we hurt others. We usually bring down others because, again, we don't know what healing is at that time. We don't understand that we're hurting ourselves. And if we don't understand that we're hurting ourselves, we're not going to appreciate the fact that we're hurting others. And it's
100%.
But on that sense, right? For us being military veterans and putting ourselves in certain situations to help broken people, what has been the benefits and not benefits of that lifestyle for you now that you have come to this pointed place in your life of healing? Did that make sense? The question?
As far as broken people,
Thank you, Ash. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate that.
all of us have something. So I
Mm.
think all of us are broke in some form or fashion. It's just different.
Mm.
But I was so for me, I I was running away from myself. So I was more or less using people's time
Mm.
to distract me from
Ooh.
confronting the areas of myself that I needed.
Mm.
So if anybody was broken at that point, it was me. And I was so broken that I didn't take time to really look at somebody else
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't take time to look at myself. I just how if a person made me feel good spending time, then we spent time, right? I would, hey, you want to go do this? If it was, doing other things, it was doing other things. But so for me, it was I was broken, and then I felt even more broken because I knew my genuine interest didn't come from a place of sincerity, right? And we
Mm.
all tell ourselves, "Oh, I like this person. Oh yeah, I enjoy this time. We're just having fun, whatever." But in reality, we all know certain things happen, time, energy, it changes. And when I already lied to myself in the first place, knowing I didn't want anything more, right? And then it turns into something more, then feelings and emotions, everything, and you feel like shit.
Mm.
Not because the person's making you, because deep down you knew in the first place what it was, and you lied to yourself. That's where I was at.
Mm-hmm.
I
I can
lied
relate.
to myself,
That is the first
and I,
person we
I
like to.
yeah, and I wanted it to be true, right? You want it to make sense, and oh yeah, yeah, no, this is no, it ain't.
Mm.
You know, and then when shit turns out how it does, the the boo boo face. Why is this always happening to me? Like what? What did I do? And it's like you keep doing the same shit. Confront yourself, man. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like stop running. You're gonna keep the same situations pop in, pop out until you confront it, until you're aware, until you understand, until you're ready to not do the same dumbass shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I was at for that one.
Mm.
I don't even remember the second part of the question. Not
I'm not gonna lie to you, I did too. So we're just gonna keep pushing. But
yeah,
that,
because I'm like, yo, I, I didn't, but I do understand like when I was upset, hurting someone, like he said, Ash, when hurt people, hurting other people, you do that, but you also do it because the feeling itself is familiar, right? And we love
mm-hmm.
to be in comfortable situations. We just talked about that.
Yeah.
Fear basically is on the outside lining of everything that you're not comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And you said it earlier. I'm only gonna smash my limiting beliefs and feel better about myself, bridge that confidence by taking advantage of all those little things that I have reservations about, that there are some fear attached to it.
Mm.
So, but
Uh,
I had a question for you.
mm-hmm.
At what point do you now realize to entertain the conversation or to just not partake? And how do you go about
Mm. I,
it? So
s-
say I'm
I,
Rick,
uh,
and I'm like, hey, DJ, what do you think about all this Trump stuff? Right?
mm,
At that point, now it's like, what do we do?
mm,
And it doesn't have to be Trump. It could be, oh man, my wife, she's doing this, and anything.
mm.
What do you, how do you interact, and what do you choose?
Um, one, with anything now, I begin by thinking about my overall peace and happiness. If
Oh, that's good.
anything or person or situation is gonna challenge that or combat my peace and happiness, I can at that point make the conscious choice of saying, is it worth gambling my peace and happiness? Sometimes for me, engaging is to maintain my peace and happiness because of standing up for myself is a crucial part of my mental health, maintaining my mental health. Speaking my truth is important to protect my overall peace and happiness because I feel better when I stand up for myself. I feel better when I state my truth. And so, when it comes to political things, most of the time I will not engage. If I feel like the conversation can be cordial, like the one we are having now, where if I tell you my perspective is not going to dictate a response because you understand that it's just my perspective. I'm not telling you it is the only way. I'm not telling you you're incorrect. I'm not saying anything other than my perspective. If you can respect my perspective the way I respect yours, then the conversation is not going to take away from my peace and happiness. But if I can automatically feel the energy, like you said, if somebody comes in with that negative energy or that they just trying to stir shit up, I can easily, one, ignore it because anything will disappear without energy. That's why bullies can't pick on people that don't get their feelings hurt, right? Just like when if somebody came into the stream and like, oh, you look like such and such, I have the option to choose to feel, oh, I can't believe they think I look like this person, and oh, I can't believe that, blah blah blah. Or I can play it along, right? I can play with it and make it into something for me, into where I now laugh.
Right.
And I used to jab at people. If somebody came at me and made fun of me or attacked me, to protect myself, I used to think I have to attack you and I have to make you feel worse than what you're trying to make me feel and blah blah blah. Now, I when I lead with love, everything else gets squashed down, man. I don't know how it works, to be honest with you, but when I lead with love, things work out in such a beautiful way, just like today for snipping, right? She led with love, she led with happiness and engagement, and even when people came in there with this political chats and political thoughts to kind of get a reaction out of her, it was as simple as like, hey, we don't do that stuff here, and just kept going with the conversation. So personally, I would react that way. I do react that way now, where I don't feel like the need to engage, but if I do engage, is to simply stand up for me if I feel the need. What about you?
I just wanted to go back because you said a big thing about the bully, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you would attack, but the only reason most people, I mean, I've bullied people before. I'm not gonna say I haven't, and I've been bullied.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's because you're hurting,
Mm-hmm.
and that frustration that you have, you're just dumping it on someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So when you said you don't know how it works when someone's leading with love, you're leading without judging that person, and that
Mm-hmm.
person is not validated as existing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times people do what they do just to be validated, just to be noticed,
Mm-hmm. To feel
just
alive.
for someone to say, to feel alive. You exist and say, hey, man, you're loved too.
Yeah.
A lot of us think all parents, come home and they do all these things and I love you and tuck them in.
Mm.
A lot of kids tuck themselves in. A lot of kids, their parents, their grandparents didn't tell their parents they love them. And what typically happens is if what
So
you
true,
got
Ash.
is kind of what you give to someone else, unless you decide to make that change.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people have grown up not getting that love from the parent. They all, of course, the parents loved them, but they didn't display it. They didn't tell them. And how their biggest show of probably love is providing, right? You had a house, you had food, you had the clothes. So just being aware of and understanding that at any point we've all been in some form of fashion, maybe not to the same degree, but we are aware of how some things feel,
Mm.
but we still choose to go with the crowd, right? Because we don't want to be looked at differently or weird or,
Mm-hmm.
when I told my mom about the environment and things like that, first thing I was like, wow, like, okay, I'm a hippie. All right. Right on, man.
You're a hippie. Nah, yeah.
But because I had never spoke about it, it kind of threw her off. But I had always felt that way, even as a kid. But
Mm,
again, I didn't want to get looked at or certain comments like that, right?
mm,
I don't want to get joked because I like these things and not in. So
yeah. Uh,
yeah, but I mean
Ash,
that was something I just want to point out.
no, I appreciate that. Ash said something earlier, which we appreciate also. I wanted to acknowledge this. Is that she said, "Are they seeking to engage or are they seeking to attack?" And that is, it's important. And that is an important point where there's levels of judgment. Right? I don't come in judging, but I also have to have a level of judgment to be able to protect myself. So it is again a duality of this world, the yin and yang of these worlds that we share in many different areas of life, right? This duality, you can find it in different areas of our lives. And yeah, there is a level of judgment for the situation to protect yourself, and there's a level of non-judgmental listening skills and interaction skills that we can provide to one another to have more experiences. And also, she mentioned we all want to fit in somewhere. And I want to acknowledge that because it is so true, right? We all feel like we need to fit somewhere, yet, in my opinion, I feel like most of us forget that we are already in. There is no need to fit in anywhere, because the one place where you need to be in, you already are in that moment, in that body, in that experience, in that situation, in those feelings, whatever they may be, in those thoughts, whatever that is. And so, this idea of finding a place to fit in for me was the game of the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. And every time I jumped the fence, I, I looked back and the other side was greener. Make that make sense. It does make sense for me
Well,
now.
because like grass, remember when you're standing on grass, the more you walk on it, you're gonna kill it.
Mhm.
So every time you step off the grass, it grows and gets better, and then when you go back, so
That fact, we make that place less desirable. We are the reason we see things in a negative aspect and turn things negative. In reality, both sides are green, right? If we just stayed in the moment, the green never dissipates in our side of the fence. That's what being in the moment does. That's what being in the zone does. That's why when you see people like Kobe Bryant and Tiger Woods and all these people at their peak level of whatever it is that they're doing, they're just in it. Nothing else matters. People are like, man, how did Kobe Bryant practice 21 hours and da da da? But that's what
the
made
flow
him
state,
him. Say again?
the flow state.
The flow state, the moment, all of that. Yes.
That's yeah.
We have to water the lawn we are on. In fact, that is facts right there. Watering the grass that we are on means taking care of our thoughts, being mindful of our speech, being mindful of our actions, having actions with purpose and heart in mind is a transformative. Everything around and our environment truly is a symbiotic relationship that will enhance all of our experiences when we are in the flow state. This is why now Ahmad and we're comfortable hugging trees in front of people. We're comfortable going out and attempting to ground.
It was awkward at first. It was definitely awkward, man. People like, yeah.
Heck yeah. I mean, we still joke about, like, for example, for me, right? I still go out and preach about how much grounding helps. And the other day, you're right, I went and sat down. I was trying to demonstrate how easy it is. And what do? I sit on a ant hill. Mad ants all over me, eating my butt up, and became this whole thing, funny thing. But right, and that's the things I appreciate. Those are the things that I used to fear and why I never did those things. And now I celebrate those things because that is what connects me. That is a reminder. That is nature's most wonderful reminder of being self aware. It only takes a few seconds to look around before I sat down, but I didn't. And it taught me a valuable lesson. I could have taken it as an embarrassment. Oh my God, I'll never stream again, blah, blah, blah. Or I could be like, next time, teach myself a lesson from this experience. So next time, I experience it a little bit different. And that truly became something important for me. I'm a hippie on a farm on a dirt road. Appreciating the earth is so important. We are all connected. Nice, Ash. We're gonna have to come and check that land out. I am a avid traveler and love to see the world, nature in itself. I want to go. I've met a friend up in Canada, and they also own farm and a bunch of sheep and other things. And they invited me to go out there to experience that farm life, and I'm really gonna take it up. I want to check it out and see what that's like. And I know, Ahmad, you really want to connect with earth in a sense of building your own home with your hands and learning, not learning, but growing your own food and things in that nature.
Everything being as self-sustaining as possible. So every day there is a purpose, every day there's intention, every day there's something to look forward to, there's something to be done,
Mm,
and I think that would be purposeful, right? Because right
mm,
now there's so many things we take for granted, right? When you really have to take your clothes and go to the creek and wash them on some rocks and then hang them out, that's a 2, 3, 4 hour process. Where now we could throw them in the machine, hour, 45 minutes. We can go do something else, come back, throw it in the dryer. So it just cuts time and everything that you got going on. But when you're in the environment where you have to do all these things and it's upon you and your energy, to, it'd be testing myself too. Is this something I love the idea? Right now, I'll tell you I love the idea, but I've never done it to tell you
mm-hmm,
it's the best thing ever. I
mm,
love the idea and what it would bring for me, obviously, simplicity.
mm-hmm,
I know pretty much what I'm wearing, I know what I'll have to do, and it will also build resilience and confidence because I've never done those things. So, and then by me passing it and figuring it out and doing it, that my resilience will build. And when the house is put up and you actually what you've grown, like that satisfaction of this was your effort, this was your work. Obviously, it took Earth to participate, and a lot came into play. I made a decision to do this
mm,
and live a little more simplistic with purpose and intention than with the traditional comforts that we have, right?
mm-hmm.
So
That's, I appreciate
whether or
you
not I
sharing that.
like it is to be determined.
No, and
Absolutely.
that's an important. There's an important lesson there that I hear that I've had to learn, and that is the difference of what I think things are versus how truly they are. And so many times in my life, I've had these desires. I want this, I want this. And then I finally get those things, and it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Nobody told me this came with this, and this also came with this, right? I've always wanted to be in a relationship. I always wanted to be in a happy relationship. I didn't realize the level of work that took to create and maintain a
Yeah.
healthy relationship. And so when I was presented with the work to keep a healthy and maintain a healthy relationship, I was like, wait a minute. What do you mean I gotta do all this stuff? Like, no, this is wasn't. I just hold up. You ain't telling me
Yeah.
this. This wasn't it. you know. And although it is an important lesson to be appreciated, it is also a very easily forgotten one. And I appreciate these conversations and the people that I have around me because they continue to remind me about these things that I can easily forget at times. Sure, fam, always learning and exploring. Ooh, okay, sounds good. So I just asked Ash that I told her I was mentioning that I do appreciate her sharing and her thoughts today, and so I offered her and a I invited her. There you go. That's thinking of the word. I invited her to come and speak with us and sit down and have a conversation with us, and she agreed. So we will have
Perfect.
our first uh real guest from chat probably coming up here in the near future. Ash, I will send you a DM after the podcast, and we'll get some details as far as your available days and times, and we'll go from there. And
Where is she? If it's okay, does she say where she's located?
I believe here in the States, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I
What
know
part of the
for
world?
sure. I know for sure she's in the States. Which state? I'm not a hundred
Okay.
percent sure, but we can work through that. No
No,
problem.
I just need to know, like, what continent.
Yeah, the time different, time zone type situation and all that. Yeah, no worries. Yep. Okay, so East Coast, Eastern time, perfect. Normally we run it on
Okay.
Fridays from 5 to 6 p.m. And if that time does not work for you, Ash, that is okay. We're willing to create another time for these types of
Be
conversations.
Saturday.
Yep, we can be Saturday. We can make it a Sunday. We can always create another hour. For us, this is an important mental health hour, emotional health hour, a community health hour. And so for us, it's important to us for our health, our lives. And we are happy to create that time. And it just so happened that it can be helpful to others. So we appreciate you being brave enough to share this time and come on by and share your thoughts and experiences with us and people who come by the stream. Uh, Man, I'm very excited. I'm very excited, Ash. I know we're coming here towards the end of the hour. I do have to go and celebrate my niece. She is graduated high school. I am time is flying, and I was just thinking about what you had mentioned about your daughter and starting school, Ahmad, and that feeling, and it I can remember when this young lady was first starting school, and now I'm going to her high school graduation. It is feels like a snap of a finger. And so I say that to say I'm so proud of you for putting in the work that you have continued to do with those amazing kids. You are a father to be proud of, my brother. I am so happy to be in your life, to continue to see the work that you put in for yourself, your family, and those around you, because you are truly a good soul. And I am truly happy to share this experience with you, man. I'm bringing that breaking down into tears
Yeah,
because I say all these things out loud to you because I'm saying them to myself as well. You continue to show that and tell me these things. And so I cry because I am truly happy to be here and part of this world with you, brother.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The same thing, man. We continue to face those fears, uh, have the courage, and most importantly, accept what it is,
Yeah.
right?
Heck
Just
yeah.
accept what it is, and look what we're doing.
That's it. Beautiful things, man.
Yeah, 10 years. Well, shoot, what was it then? No, it was 12 years ago.
12. Holy mackerel, man.
No, I mean, yeah, I would say it was about 13, 12 years since you've been saying we should like be talking.
Mm-hmm.
But uh,
Yeah, and that's
uh,
in my nature.
I,
Let's go.
yeah, I met you by 2012. I want to say
It was
sometime
around
in 2012.
2012. I came back to the US in 2000, end of 2011. I met our mutual friend at during that time, and it wasn't until we moved out of base that I met you, and that was early
See, you
2013.
moved where I used to live, then I had moved to
I'm sorry,
OG.
Ash. Didn't mean to make you cry. We are totally comfortable shedding tears. We are men that are comfortable sharing or expressing our emotions. We are finally in our place in a place of our lives that we're comfortable shedding tears. And
Yeah,
you know,
carry around our bucket.
that's it. That is it. Um, Thank you so much for smashing that screen, Ash. I didn't even see you, but I think we're over. Let me see. Hold on. We over
I don't know.
5.3K likes, my boy. Um,
Oh, that's good. It
that is
means it just
great.
keeps.
That is amazing. And I'm saying that out
Yeah,
loud to remind you of how great you are doing, how amazing truly our work has come, and to as
yeah.
an encouragement to continue. So I'm very excited. Just like I'm
You know,
excited for Snippin, I'm excited for you to put out your first video of your face out there. Let's get it. It's your turn, baby. If Snippet can do it, you can do it. Let's go. Let's get it.
all right. Yeah, I mean, it's all possible, but at the end of the day, we do what we do when we're ready, right? When we
Indeed.
get to that point. But I
Yeah.
definitely hear you.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say it's easy to talk about these things and let the emotions out when you are now being yourself and you're fully accepting who you are, where you're at, what you got going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, judgment doesn't matter because no one can judge you or be more critical of you than you.
Mm-hmm.
So if that noise is gone and that area of limited beliefs is limited or pain or it's gone as well, you've opened up a whole new category for yourself to fully experience what you want without any repercussions emotionally, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
mentally, second guessing, or you don't have to worry about those. So it's a great place to when you're authentically you and you speak your truth, not worrying about who agrees or doesn't,
Mm.
not worrying about who's gonna judge, and just happy with putting everything out there. And this is it. This is
Yeah.
me. I feel about it, and that's it.
Indeed. Can you do me a favor, brother? Can you get on your phone real quick, hop on the TikToks and say something on chat? That way, Ash
I
can
I was
see your account and she can follow you.
I was trying to figure out how to fucking do it, man.
So just basically, when you open up TikTok, you gonna go
Hmm.
down, do the search bar on the magnifying glass and put in ink toxicated, and then when you see the like my
Oh, hold on, hold
logo,
on. Okay.
my fast, my bad. Yeah, when you
No,
see the,
bro.
yeah, I hear you. I'm there with you. I'm there with you. Why? Okay, so that's not showing up. I'm gonna check out the things are not. Um,
See, you're popping up automatically, but for whatever reason. All right, I'm here now. I'm
yeah,
in it.
just and
I'm
just
in
say
it. With it.
say hello in there. It is. Just say hello in chat, and that way, when you say something in chat, people can actually click on your name, and then they can automatically follow you. So they don't have to do everything that you just did. It basically it helps them to not have to do everything you did and directly follow you.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm new to TikTok. I mean, he is too, but he's more advanced in certain areas when it comes to all this stuff. So
Mm.
I'm
Yeah, we working.
getting there. But yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
we
getting there.
there. Yeah, there you go. No, man, you're doing a great job. The fact that also, Ash, if you are a fan of these type of conversations, positivity, which I know you are, you can check out the. I'm gonna put the name on here, but the YouTube channel for non affiliates for Elevated Wisdom. We Ahmad posts daily there, and it has a variety of positive videos. It's all about positivity, and great food for thought.
It's basically I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
go for it, go for it.
It's experiencing emotions I feel day to day. I try to find a quote and come up with a movie or a mantra, put something together and put it out there for people to relate. But it's just processing my own emotion
Mm,
journey of self discovery, right? As I'm healing and figuring things out about myself. That's what I've been doing for the last, well, I've had the channel a little over a year, but created some things previously, but it's been a 5 year process for me as far as working through a lot of this stuff. So, you know, so for me just to get out here and be able to speak on it and talk about it, it initially took a lot, but now that I'm doing it, I mean,
mm.
I don't even care anymore, honestly. I feel good. Just taking the steps and, just I look how I look. If I sound fine to me, that's all that matters at this point. So,
Mm. um, Ash says, "Wise men never figure themselves out; they are always learning." And I
that is the truth.
connect with that in so many levels, because for me it's not about the overall understanding. I will never fully understand myself because I'm always growing, I'm always transcending, and so with that I'm constantly learning, and that speaks volume. So I appreciate you sharing that, Ash. Really, absolutely, truly love that. And being here is truly a blessing to see people's journeys and hear people's wisdom and share experiences, because for me, again, is the validation that I am in the right place. I am in my lane, as they say, and the grass is beautifully green on my side, as it is on your side, as it is on Ahmad's side, everybody, because ultimately we're all standing in the same place. We're all sharing a interesting and unique experience that makes us human. And that, my friends, is why I refer to most of you as fam, because we are all family in the family of this world. We sharing this world. We're a unit, whether we see it or not, in my opinion, again. So I want to say thank you, Ash, and I will be messaging you. Um, I will DM you with some more information about when can we do this, and we'll go into it. We usually like to end the podcast with our 3 L's, and our amazing brother here, Ahmad Jermaine, takes us out. So this one's special is going to go out to Ash, and I'll let Ahmad take it away. Go ahead, Ahmad.
All right, as we are on this journey, want to embody the 3 L's. So lead with love, take time to laugh, and never stop learning. Those are the 3 L's.
Heck yeah. I love it. I live it. We appreciate you guys. Continue having an amazing day. And is there anything else before we head out, Ahmad?
No, just everybody has value. They just need to remember that.
Indeed.
Everybody has value.
Great talk indeed today, guys. Till next week. And soon you will hear from our friend Ash and get to hear another amazing perspective from another beautiful soul. So thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. You guys have a
Thank you.
wonderful day. We're out of here.
Thank you for joining us, and have a good night. Lead with love, take time to laugh, and never stop learning.